Hello and welcome to Joy News Today. Coming up, President Kufuor vows not to set aside due process in fighting against corruption. More from that address at the ongoing National Anti-Corruption Conference here in Accra. Residents of Sunyani in the Bunot region and Agape in the Greater Accra region all hit the streets in their respective communities to demand better roads and completion of major infrastructure projects, which they say are hampering development. We'll take you live to both demonstrations to get a sense of the severity of the situation at hand and how city authorities intend to meet their demands. And in our Drive Safe campaign this afternoon, a primary 1 pupil at TI at Midday School in Kumasi killed in an accident involving a truck at Asafo in the Ashanti region. We've got details for you. We also do have business, sports, world news and some show business all coming up as part of this package. My name is Mama Viuswabwade. Thanks for being with us. In our first story, President Kufuor has vowed not to set aside due process in the fight against corruption. Addressing the National Anti-Corruption Conference here in Accra, the president said his administration has declared zero tolerance against corruption in Ghana. We'll take you back to the venue live now.
The efficiency of a nation's justice system is tested by the manner in which cases seeking to hold high-profile members of society to account are conducted. It is unreasonable and unfair for so-called high-profile criminal cases involving the summary offenses of fraud, willfully causing financial loss to the state, and money laundering to drag on for years, whilst criminal cases filed against perceived ordinary members of society are concluded within 6 months to 1 year. These developments deepen the perception of inequity in our society. The judiciary has a great role to play in the eradication of corruption. The best way to do so is by the speedy, efficient, and just adjudication of cases, especially so-called high-profile prosecutions, in order to affirm the principle of equality before the law. There is a conclusion to which I would draw the attention of those whose political purposes are served by the attempted stigmatization of my government as corrupt. More monies have been spent by my government on education, health, infrastructure, particularly roads, agriculture, industry, the security services, and the anti-corruption institutions than by any other government in the Fourth Republic, if not in the entire history of Ghana. Furthermore, after all these expenditures, my government was still able to find some 25 billion cedis to pay for the refund of depositors' monies arising from the financial sector crisis. These expenditures indicate clearly what taxpayers' monies and the revenues of government have been used for by the Kufuor government. It is difficult to sustain any serious argument about the wanton dissipation of public funds in my time as president. Ladies and gentlemen, what I have done is to show you that my government has fought corruption not in words, but in concrete deeds. We have shunned mere exhortations and showy denunciations of unproved corruption. It has been a holistic approach. We've protected the public purse, we've made institutional reforms, We have enacted additional requisite laws, and we have resourced more adequately the accountability organs of state. Our fight against corruption has been grounded on legislative, financial, and institutional action, and not on lip service. Finally, Mr. Chairperson, let me restate the generally accepted views on the effect of corruption. It reduces revenue to the state. It holds back economic growth. It leads to a flight of capital. It holds and it inflates the cost of government. It stifles initiative and creativity and dampens motivation. It undermines merit and rewards appointments and success and encourages mediocrity, laziness, and incompetence. The responsibility of the executive is to enforce the law, no matter who is affected. That is a necessary foundation for the successful fight against corruption. The law must truly be no respecter of persons. I'm grateful for this opportunity to contribute my thoughts to this important conversation, and have the honor now to launch the National Cultural Review and Schools Integrity Programs. May God bless us all in our homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention, and I wish you fruitful deliberations.
And at the same event, Supreme Court Judge Yoni Kalini said the judiciary is developing a code of conduct procedure for judges and staff of the judicial service. He's confident implementation of such a document will help the judiciary take a lead role in the fight against corruption.
We have continued to witness concerns around corruption. Corruption has been aptly described by the illustrious son of Ghana and former UN Secretary General, Mr. Kofi Annan of blessed memory, as, quote, an insidious plague that has a wide range of corrosive effects. It undermines democracy and the rule of law, leads to violations of human rights, distorts markets, erodes the quality of life, allows organized crime, terrorism, and other threats to human security to flourish. It feeds inequality and injustice, unquote. These words of Mr. Annan were uttered in 2003, the year the UN General Assembly resolved to designate the 9th of December as International Anti-Corruption Day, in order to raise awareness about the fight against corruption and the importance of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. This conference, Your Excellency, and its team, building a culture of integrity for generations, could therefore not have come at a better time. As its theme, Your Excellency, the citizens undoubtedly are right to expect that with the adoption of NACAP, corruption would have been brought under significant control. In a few minutes, we will hear what we have done well and what we have not. For now, permit me to state that the Judicial Service is a key partner in the fight against corruption. By Article 1255 of the Constitution, the judiciary is given the jurisdiction in all matters, civil and criminal, including matters relating to the Constitution and such other jurisdictions as Parliament may by law confer on it. Thus, the judiciary is clothed with a jurisdiction to adjudicate corruption and other criminal cases prosecuted before the courts.
And that's Supreme Court Judge Justice Yoni Kalini speaking at a conference ongoing here in Accra. It's an anti-corruption conference. Still to come.
They don't face our road. There's no way we'll get our road again. So we say, Kufuor to fix our road. No. If they don't do it now, they won't do it again. It's MPP state.
Well, sounds of angry residents of Agape in the Gas Central Municipality of the Greater Accra region as they hit the streets today demanding the immediate construction of their roads. Deep gullies and ending potholes and the absence of drains have made the roads there simply unmotorable. The residents blame this on years of failed government promises. But today, they say enough is enough. They want the roads fixed now.
Another issue that they are making reference to, and they've been talking to me about it, well, it is about this particular canal and drain here. What we've seen is that the gutter which was built wasn't completed, and for now what we have is one of the poles, the electricity poles here standing in there. All the base, in fact the landmass in the base has been eroded, and for now we're having the electricity pole just waiting to fall. Also, just across this particular space we have a gas filling station, and the residents here say that they fear that if this falls then there's going to be an explosion. But now if and not saying that we light pony jina wa Sam.
Jina no mlebeble ya ka che o ma say o mo moyen because we hear on nyina ho nyina crack agni akaso na po no krabu atofom it is say o say o mehwe moyen driver blackina ka say oduma ye damo ase
na inti muni assemblyman muni di MC
asa o nyina wa ya no mo nyina akasa ya ka kro mu fie say ya doba for ne head ya ne o makan no makan ko mu fi masa wa da hwe nsuo ya na say o da hwe poni aye na hwe kwan ya wa wonam so ye wa bebre ya tempest 3 days bi aye koso ya kan mu fi enti ya man 3 months na eso ne ehun se wa ya bi kwan so a ende ya ne ncha
de omo kanina aye no kre but another demonstration aye no anya de ya ba ya juma because of ekwan no ani got another nti masa eno kwase mni say ekwan nti we ka wo for basic so ye juma kran po person to me was kwa wo say ka no wo no ka ye juma wo say ka no because we say kwan nye enti na de ekwan bia no we fa so be ye juma obi anya juma e say ye juma say to da be da me no to ho ye na to da me ho bia ba fa ka na to da be
so now what we're seeing is that they are not working. They are playing drums, and we can see them playing over there. For now, the residents who are actually looking for vehicles to move around, they are the ones who are going to feel the pinch. Some of them have been standing here for so long. Madam, what did you have to ask?
But as a car is on halt and no car is ready to go, so me ask my car, I say I don't know.
But they say that the roads are not good. That's why they are not working.
The road is actually not good, to be frank. When you're in a car and you're not even like you can bump your head in it because of the road. The road is not good. The road needs to be fixed. That one is a fact.
And so do you agree with them on this sit-down strike that they are currently under?
It's good, yeah, letting the government and everybody know that the road is not good and it needs to be fixed. But the fact that they are not working, at least some of the cars should go so that we can also move to our destinations. But it's good, they are letting everybody know that the road is not good.
And so that's what you heard here. So Benjamin, well, this is the situation here. The vehicles that are working are only those that are exiting this particular road and hitting the main Awushi-Pokwase highway. For now, the entire, membership of the taxi driving union here say they are not working, and the people are left here stranded.
So that's Manuel Kranting, who reported a bit earlier. Among the protesters he came across this morning was a 74-year-old lady who said she would not vote in 2024 if the Agape roads are not fixed.
Grandma, say, what catch penny for? Okay. Na intino what if I na
let Agape top
ho ntia de bia wo twa kwan we di ta
mo twa kwan
wo twa kwan na ma unko to je ya unko to je ni na ya
unko to je na mesisi.
All right, let's now hear from those drivers who ply those routes every day.
The drivers demonstration na kwa Sunyani ka se jere so was yan and ya be car faso o ma ka ta na asa ni yan ya ka ta 2 days ya to ka ta asa asa kwa na asa nti abuon ko a o fa na twam o ye adwuma na de koto tai o ye adwuma na de koto fu enti yan de ya adwen se Wo grad ya eso. Ne kese pa na baba. Chief driver fofo ana me kasa no.
So what you just heard him say in Chi is that they are the drivers who actually ply the roads and actually, carry and chauffeur the residents here from the junction all the way into the community in there. For now, they are giving government 3 months to come and fix the roads. Government abosume mi ensa dia. I didn't know mo fa nipa na omo kono. I didn't know mo nyeji.
Papa. It is said here, you see a breno, ya driver for, yan passe dia akuma, and your bufuo, abayajuma, and tender, yet as a driver, can't be able to no parkway. So, was me a chief driver, sir, or be friends or driver, no. We took a no problem about Hammy. Minamako, Minimsel, we are full, and it's a problem. And sir, and the party, Capian will be more parkway. Madam.
So some drivers in Agape protesting the bad nature of their roads. Let's stay with the subject of demonstrations because residents of Sunyani in the Bonot region are also lamenting the poor state of their roads. Stored airport rehabilitation, abandoned library projects, water system, among many other projects they say are affecting the development of Sunyani and the region at large. My colleague Precious Semevo will join us in a bit with details of that demonstration in Sunyani. This is Joy News Today. We'll take a breather. We will be back with more. Well, thanks for staying with us here on Joy News Today. Let's go back to our earlier story where some drivers and residents of Agape have been demonstrating. My colleague Manuel Kranting, who covered that demonstration, joins us live with more. Manuel, we're learning that the taxi drivers there have refused to work this afternoon. We know the details because you interacted with them. We also heard from that one lady who was stranded. Is this demonstration still on, and are they still insisting that they will not work today?
Well, so Mamavi, the demonstration in itself has ended, and a lot of the residents who came out clad in red and black with a lot of placards calling for the routes to be fixed have actually dispersed and returned to their homes. What we now have is that the taxi drivers that I spoke to are refusing to work. So we now have short drivers. These public buses, privately owned transport buses are actually the ones that are now, trying to fly the route and carry the people from the junction into the community. For the taxi drivers, they have refused to work, and they're actually discouraging every other driver from working today. So just a few buses are here to carry the people there. The demonstrators actually presented a petition to the municipal chief executive for the Gas Central area, the Honorable Mohammed Bashiru, and they, to him, asked that the roads are fixed within the next 3 months. They say they've had too many promises from government, and they feel they are being deceived. And so for now, they're not taking any other explanation. All they want is for the roads to be fixed. On his part, though, the municipal chief executive said that the roads have actually been awarded on contract, and so the heaps of laterite and chippings that we saw on the road as the demonstration actually progressed were evidence that the roads are being fixed. And so he spoke to us and said that by next week we'll see bulldozers on the road trying to level the road so that it can be motorable, Mamavi.
Did he also respond directly to the pole that we saw standing, waiting to fall?
Well, he says that he is unaware and his attention has just been drawn to it, and so he's going to work on getting that situation also dealt with. And that's the detail that he's been providing for us, Mamavi.
And was there a long-term solution? I mean, if the road has been awarded on contract, why is the contractor not on site?
Well, he mentions that, and he says that he just took office as one of the newly sworn in MCEs across the country, and so for him, not so much of detail he has on the road. He says that the Department of Urban Roads has actually requested the Municipal Urban Roads engineer to present a report on the progress of work and get them to get the contractor back on site. As he was ending that point, he made a call to the contractor to return to site immediately, or they would influence the abrogation of the contract, because the contract was actually not awarded from the Office of the Municipal Assembly, but from the Department of Urban Roads. And so if he doesn't return to site, they are going to influence the abrogation of the contract. Mamavi.
Interesting development there. Manuel Cranting, we'll leave it here. And in the course of the bulletin, we will take you to Sunyani and join Precious Semerville, where there is a similar demonstration also ongoing over, amongst many other things, the bad nature of their roads. Away from stories related to demonstrations, though, government says it will commission an investigation into the abysmal performance of students in this year's WASSCE. Out of the over 400,000 students who sat for the exams, 61,778 failed, as per a statement by the Council. English language and core maths recorded a decline in the performance of candidates as compared to the 2020 performance. As many as 204,831 out of the 446,352 candidates who sat for the examinations this year scored above C6. Now, 45.89% of them scored between D7 and F9 in mathematics, whilst 45.92% scored the same marks for English language. And as you can see there on your screens, a fair representation of the outcome of the examination. Well, commenting on the development, Education Minister Dr. Yao Educhum was optimistic, though the outcome of the probe will shape and improve upon results of students in the near future.
Actually, the average is 60%, 60%. Certain subject areas went up, others were dipped. But when you put it on average, it's still 60%. So if you look at English, for example, there was a dip. Mathematics, there was a dip. But integrated science saw a huge jump, and social studies also saw an increase. So overall, the average is still 60%. But on the other hand, I just want to assure you that mathematics should not see a dip in my time, as somebody who has taught mathematics. So we're going to look at what went wrong and what we can do, which schools did so well, where there were drops, and then we are going to look at how best to ensure that we move up. But the good news is that 2 years in a row, we have in the core subjects seen 50% plus pass rate, which means that more students will then qualify to go to the universities. Because in the past years, what happened was you may have 70% or 80% pass on social studies, and then mathematics is 33%. And because mathematics is 33%, you can't have more than 33% of the students going to the university. So if English is 30%, even if all the other subjects are 70%, you can't have more than 30% going to the university. The moment you move English and mathematics up, then you are guaranteed a higher rate of entry into universities. So this is good news for the country, and I will encourage all of us, the same way that we support the Black Stars when they play and win. When our students play and win, let us come together as a people and celebrate them. So it shouldn't be about why didn't they do this. These young men and women are bold, brave, are in the midst of pandemic, have sat through exams, and they've done well. And I want all of us as Ghanaians to celebrate our young ones.
Now let's go to Sunyani. Precious Semerville is my colleague. He joins us with details of a demonstration in Sunyani. Precious, bring us up to speed on the demonstration. First of all, is it still ongoing?
No, the demonstration ended not long ago.
So there's a tall list of need. They talk about the bad nature of the roads. So let's start from there. Describe the roads that they are unhappy about.
Okay, so this road construction from Sunyani to Adima, which is on the Sunyani road. Now, this road has been in a deplorable state for, as far as I can remember, about a decade now. Now, what happens is that almost in every election year, you see work being done on it, and thereafter, nothing happens again. But as I speak to you, there are contractors on the road. It's very bumpy, very, very dusty, and all that. But residents complain is that, yes, there are contractors on that stretch, but the pace of work will take forever for this few kilometers of road to be fixed. That is just one. The Sunyani Ring Road and other roads within the Sunyani municipality and the Bono region as a whole need to be fixed, and complaints have been made several, but as of now, not much has been done about the road, which they say is affecting economic activity and everything that we do in the region.
Precious, they also talk about some abandoned projects, the airport, there's also the library. What's the state in which these two projects are in as we speak?
Abandoned projects appears to dominate. There's also the Center for National Culture, which, according to the complainant, started some 50 years ago. It is yet to be completed. The regional library, which is located at in Pabin, here in Sunyani, also started some 20 years ago, and it's about 19 years behind schedule. It is also yet to be completed. The airport renovation started years ago, and as far as I can remember, and I last reported on it, about 2 years now that the Deputy Aviation Minister then assured that it would be completed out last year. But 1 year down the line, nothing has been done about its completion. That is also hanging coupled with other situations. And they believe that traveling from Sunyani to Accra is very, very inconvenient for them. When this airport is done, it is going to open up the economic space to allow a lot of people to be able to move in and out of the region to transact business. They believe Sunyani is strategically located in the heart of the country, and as such, much convenience if all these facilities are done to ensure that businesses and other economic activities goes on as planned.
And Precious, was there a petition presented? Who received it? Were there promises made?
Yes, petition was presented to the Bono Regional House of Chiefs, which was received by the vice of the House of Kufuor II, who is also the paramount chief of the Global Traditional Council. Now, according to the president of the Sunyani Youth Development Association, AntiCorruption, they did not present the petition, which would have been the normal thing to either the municipal chief executive or the regional minister or the coordinating director. And they are saying that previous communication between all these entities yielded no result. They are not even sure it was forwarded to the final destination that they expected. That is why they are using the traditional leaders, and they are trusted that they will engage the president and let the president know their frustration, their concern. Now, the vice president of the Bono Regional House of Chiefs, Kufuor, assured the demonstrators that if the region is developed, it is for them, and they are also interested in the development of the region. He particularly made mention of the airport.
Well, Precious Sim over there with details of a demonstration in Sunyani in the Bono region. Let's go to the Ashanti region now, where primary 1 pupil of TI Media School has been killed in an accident involving a Longtrack at Asafo in the Ashanti region. 6-year-old Princess Achu Bema in school had closed from school and was heading to a foot joint when she was hit by the tail end of the trailer. The vehicle whilst negotiating a sharp curve, knocked down the girl and ran over her head.
As family and friends gathered at the accident scene, tears flowed. Residents conversed in astonishment. A joyful moment on the Asafo Street. An eyewitness, Kweku Amankwa, disclosed what he saw.
So after the driver made a turn, the child who was walking along the gutter was pushed by the car tire. Even the driver did not notice. I drew the attention of the driver.
Some angry residents say they have consistently engaged wholesale shops to avoid offloading goods from long tracks in the area to avert such incidents.
We have made several complaints about heavy trucks using this road. Children use this road a lot. All what they could tell us after every caution was that we are only shop owners. Some cars can break down for 7 hours, preventing other cars from coming or going. If the pavement was extended, the child could have run to the other side. We have made several pleas, but to no avail.
Assembly member of Asafo Electoral Area, Ernest Okai, says the wholesalers have consistently defied orders from the KMA to desist from offloading goods in the area. The killing of the girl is a clarion call for immediate action to stop them.
Already, we anticipated that such thing can happen. We have these stores at Asafo markets that they sell flour. They have come to rent a lot of wholesale stores inside Asafo. Anticipating that this can happen, we've served them a KMA letter to them that they shouldn't allow these long trucks to come and offload the flour here, because anything can happen. I have a copy of the letter. They also have a copy of the letter. But it's a gross disrespect to authority. That's why we are witnessing what have just happened this afternoon. So we are taking this opportunity to appeal to them that henceforth they should abide by the KMA rules and regulations, that this long truck shouldn't come and offload load at Asafo. Because apart from this incident, anything can happen. The driver can fail brake. So we are appealing to them not to come and offload the flour here again. That's why we are saying.
Nana Auku's report read to you.
And on that heartbreaking note, we take a breather. We'll bring you business in a bit. In business, an economist and finance lecturer, Professor Godfred Bokping, is charging government to be intentional in supporting the growth of indigenous businesses, irrespective of their political ties. This, he believes, is the only way that the country's businesses can fully benefit from the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. According to him, Ghana's entrepreneurial environment is unfriendly, and therefore failure by government to support local businesses will mean the country will gain little from the biggest continental program, despite housing its headquarters. He was speaking at a public lecture organized by the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana organized a public lecture themed Promoting Indigenous Ghanaian Business to Take Advantage of AFTA. Speaking at the lecture, economist and finance lecturer Professor Godfred Bokping urged government to support the growth of indigenous businesses regardless of their political connections.
One big problem why as a country we have not been able to guarantee domestic private sector leadership is that the political elite in Ghana has been scared of a wealthy or powerful indigenous private sector. This has manifested in the systematic profiling of indigenous private sector, including their political affiliation, which then influences the posture of the state in dealing with these indigenous businesses, including creating a hostile environment for them, resulting in some of them running away from their businesses. What we are observing is that every government in power, its affiliated businesses are favored much to the disadvantage of the national entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Minister Councillor for Trade and Investment Kofi Addo emphasized that the survival of any business depends on accounting and auditing.
Ms. Nketia did say something, that accounting and auditing are like the keys to every door. Ms. Nketia, I would say that they are foundation to every business. If they are not able to stand, when the challenges come, the business will crumble. The government has also embarked on various sectoral reform programs aimed at boosting economic transformation and are being implemented to make our businesses globally competitive.
The research concluded that tax reforms are necessary to help businesses grow, as well as good networks and capacity building. Here's President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana, Professor Williams Atwilik.
From this dialogue, the conclusion is that strengthening indigenous businesses is important in helping us solve several of our problems. As an institute, we regulate accountants, and accountants interact and interface with businesses. So we come face to face with the challenges of businesses, particularly Ghanaian-based businesses. So we thought that let us reach out to Business Association of Ghana. Let us have some dialogue and conversation on how we can together highlight the key issues into solving some of the problems of Ghana. And we thought that building indigenous business is one of the...
Now, the Chief Executive Officer of Premier Health Insurance, Percy Asariansa, is asking government, as a matter of importance, to offer tax rebate to local private health insurance companies. He says apart from taxes affecting operations, abysmal performance of the city is a great concern due to importation of drugs, reagents, among other things. Mr. Asariansa was speaking to Joy Business at the company's 10th anniversary Thanksgiving Awards and cocktail night in Tema. Correspondent Kwame Yanka has more in the following report.
In the last 10 years, Premier Health Insurance has weathered the storm despite the difficult terrain in which the indigenous company operates. From scratch, the health insurance company has been able to build its client base, which is close to 95,000 at the moment, cutting across professions and individuals. However, to be able to provide optimal service in the 7 regions and beyond, Chief Executive Officer for Premier Health Insurance, Percy Asariansa, is asking for tax rebates and strengthening of the CD.
In Ghana, as a normal startup company, not unlike foreign companies who sometimes enjoy tax holidays and others, we did not have anything of the sort. So we had to struggle through all these, but all the time we are able to overcome it. We are praying that the CD also will not depreciate so much, because anytime CD depreciates, it affects our business, since most of our components, drugs, reagents and others are imported from outside.
Meanwhile, Percy Asariansa says the company has been able to sign a contract with Ghana Medical Association to provide insurance cover for doctors.
Yes, we still do the corporate health insurance cover, which we have a lot of corporate clients on. But our mission, we want to get more people on to have access to quality health insurance in Ghana. And that is why we thank God that at least we have signed a contract with GMA to get all the doctors who are with GMA in Ghana health insurance cover recently, so that the doctors who are caregivers will also have the best of care in the country anytime they need health care. We are now 95,000. By the next 10 years, we should be over 1 million clients.
Premier Health Insurance is looking forward to spreading its wings to other parts of the African continent in the next decade.
And that's your business this hour. Muftal Abdullah Nabila is standing by for sports. Stay with us.
Let's do some sports now on Joy News today with me, Muftar Nabila Abla, and we're going to start from the United States, where former lightweight champion Vasily Lomachenko returns to the ring for his second fight of 2021 as he faces Ghana's Richard Comey in the main event of the top-ranked boxing card at New York's Madison Square Garden on Saturday. Comey knows he must get past former champion Lomachenko if he wants to compete for world titles again. My colleague Hans Mensa-Ando has been speaking to him and came through with this report.
So we are down here at the Madison Square Garden, the final press conference, Vasily Lomachenko versus Richard Comey. And Lomachenko, obviously, very respectful of Richard Comey's abilities as a boxer. Richard Comey also repaying that courtesy. And we had Lou DiBella, one of the managers of Richard Comey, thanking Lomachenko for the opportunity for this particular fight. Comey, very confident, all smiles ahead of the fight, obviously excited at the opportunity, mentioned that the most important thing in boxing is to return to winning ways when you lose, and that is what he aims to do. He's already won one fight after losing to Teofimo Lopez and losing that IBF World Championship to me.
I'm always prepared. I've been training since after my last fight in February. I go back in and I've been training and really working out in the gym. I got my training Gary, Dre, and we're working things that we need to work on just to make sure I come out
and you mentioned that losses are part of the sport of boxing. The main thing is to bounce back. You've had one fight where you've been successful. Just how important is it that you continue with victory on Saturday night?
Like you said, this fight is for number one sport, and whoever wins that fight is going to fight for the world. So it's very important to go in there and do what you got to do to win this fight. And I've always, I want to be a champion, world champion again. So, it's not, it is what it is. I got to do there and do what I got to do and put out the performance. Give my all, and then whatever happens, so be it.
And this one I'm going to let you speak on, because this is a message for the fans in Accra, Manchabo, and Bukom. What's the message to the Miniji message?
Takite kuchu the second. Obino lenje you me adu moshikanya fe mi du mogana. Me du mogana fe na. Edeke biye ni amebelo kuna me na small boxes ni no ni fe o ni so ni mo no fe na yin ni mo ba fe drum o Saturday o ke kunili baba ni ya bi fia be ni baba ni ya ni ya ke no fia no I will be ring game.
The one strength that Richard has that he can utilize on Saturday night is his concentration. But I can tell you, when it comes to Richard Comey, it's all about the power in the right hand. A lot will depend on Richard Comey's right hand on Saturday night. We don't know the game plan. They won't give too much away. But from what I'm seeing here at the Madison Square Garden, Richard Comey is primed for this one. He knows what is at stake and is fully prepared. Hans Mensa-Ando, Joy Sports, Madison Square Garden, New York.
The first edition of the First Ladies Cup comes off today at the Accra Sports Stadium, where Hazaka's ladies are confident of defeating familiar foe Ampim Dakwan ladies once again and aiming to win their 5th trophy this year. Joy Sports' Haruna Mubarak has the rest of the story.
It has been a memorable year for Hazaka's ladies. It all began in the month of June and July, where they won the Women's Premier League title and the FA Cup. They went on to showcase their quality in West Africa by winning the Waffle Zombie tournament and giving a very good account of themselves in the maiden edition of the CAF Women's Champions League, where they finished second, losing the final to Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. Few days after the tournament, the ladies landed in Ghana and showed they are the team to beat by clinching the Women's Super Cup title. 5 trophies in the last 7 months. But Coach Yusuf Basigi is not complacent and wants to add the First Ladies Cup to their trophy cabinet by beating Ampem Dakwan ladies.
Well, like I said, the winning mentality is our hallmark, and always setting the pace, always going in for the first time, and we are not looking back, and we are not complacent as well. So I know they are also coming very hard on us, but trust Hazaka's ladies with the tough mentality that we have. we go all out and do the needful.
Long-serving player and captain of the side, Janet Ejiri, concurs with the thoughts of her coach.
Well, I'm expecting, I know the game is going to be a very tough game. We have beaten them like 3 times. So it's going to be a very difficult game. But trust Azakes. Azakes will always be Azakes. We are going for the win.
The First Ladies Cup is a newly introduced competition by Galka to honor the First Lady of the country.
That is your sport for now, but we'll have more sports stories on my joyonline.com. And at 2 p.m., we'll have a conversation with Hans Mensa Andor on what Richard Comey has been saying ahead of that fight against Vasily Lomachenko tomorrow, which is December 11. We appreciate your company this afternoon. Up next is World News.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News. In our part of efforts to promote arts in Ghana, the visual and performing artist led by award-winning artist Prince Kojo Hilton is featuring various forms of artworks from several professional artists and visual arts students in an exhibition in Oyarifa Mall. This is in collaboration with the Visual Arts Empowerment Project. The exhibition, according to organizers, will be on through the festive season till the 3rd of January 2022.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the Oyarifa Mall where we're having an art exhibition. It's organized by a team of visual and performing arts persons, and it is spearheaded by award winner Ambassador Prince Kojo Hilton in collaboration with the Visual Arts Students Empowerment Project and the Oyarifa Mall. Of course, the highlight of this event is the unveiling of this Amanua 9-footer painting, which is in honor of the COVID-19 health workers who have sacrificed done so much as far as this virus has been concerned. And so here you are, the first time ever seen, and it's been phenomenal so far. Of course, there are artworks that are being displayed, some of which are just right here. The artworks here, phenomenal talents being exhibited here. Thank you. You can be here. This art space is running from now to the 3rd of January, and so come in here during the holidays anytime and experience the talents that we've been endowed with.
Now, the Ghana film industry has finally been given a name after years of debate, suggestion and deliberation. At a ceremony held on Wednesday by the National Film Authority, Black Star Film was announced as the name for the industry.
As far as we are concerned, from today, all names drop and Black Star Films take over. And we know that it will take time for the message to sink down. But I think that one of the messages that is, that the filmmakers are becoming conscious of is the fact that together we build. And so this is a collective effort. And we want to be known with one identity. And so, we feel that all names are relevant, have been relevant in the past. Some of these names have come about through people suggesting names, but at no point in our history has this been a deliberate act. And today, the committee has announced the name, so we feel that everything will be set after today.
On that note, we end Showbiz here on Joy News today. My name is Becky. Mama V continues with the news.
Indeed, that will be it for Joy News. Today, we thank you for your company. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. And on behalf of the production team, we thank you for watching.